Hi, my name is Jerome. I'm glad you joined me for a CRM brief overview and training. I just want to introduce myself. My wife and I have been in the travel business for a little over a year now, and we've been having amazing success. And we wanted to just share with you a great tool that we've been using, especially when it comes to growing our business. Um, I want to introduce you to a custom CRM software, online software by Travel Solutions. It was made available to Travelution clients, I'd rather Travelution agents, um, about October of last year. And ever since, I've been using it regularly. And I found it to be a great success for me as well as I try to grow our business. Um, This is another industry tool that Travelution has provided to their clients to ensure that you win, that you're successful at your travel business. And it comes with no extra cost to you. So this is an amazing tool that I just wanted to share, do a brief overview on, so that you can use it in your business and help your business to grow as well. It will help you to manage your and organize your bookings, your payments, your tasks, your client list. It's excellent for groups management, and it will simply help you grow your business. You may ask, why a CRM or what is a CRM? Well, it's a client relation management software. It helps you to organize your trips, your client lists, the tasks involved with all of the trips that you will be, your clients will ask you to book them on, and it keeps you organized as you're doing it. As you grow, you'll find that it will get a little cumbersome to try to keep up with it with scraps of papers or your attempt to organize yourself with Excel. That's how I first started out. I had a notebook and I wrote all of my client information on the notebook, and as they called, I tried to flip the pages trying to look for pertinent information to get trips booked, and it just was getting more and more cumbersome to do that. You don't want to miss things like important payments and deposit dates and installment dates. The CRM helps you to organize dates that are related to your travel. If you're booking a cruise, there's usually a deposit in first or second um, payment that's due, and then final payment that's due. So the CRM helps you with that as well. It'll help you to securely keep all of your client information in one place, especially online, which is key. That means your office can be anywhere in the world. You're not attached to a computer that's sitting back at home. When your clients call you, no matter where you are, that's your office. And that's what I love about this particular CRM. This is not a lightweight CRM. Travelution has given to their agents this powerful tool that is designed to allow you to work wherever you are. That means the beach, on a cruise, you can still respond to your clients because all of your data is accessible online. This is very key, as you'll find as you grow your business. You'll be able to respond to your clients knowing all of their current information, their past information, all of the trips that you've booked for them will all be in one place. So I just wanted to share this because I'm excited about, I've been using this software since October of last year, thereabouts, and it's been an awesome tool. And I just wanted to share it with the rest of the Travelution family and friends so that we can all win with this. Let me show you a little bit more about this tool as I try to switch screens. One second, please. So here's the software. This is the main page, and I'm just going to go over a brief overview about this page so that you can see it and get an idea of what it's about. Right now, you're looking at the calendar. The calendar is a very good tool for you because it will, when you input information like tasks to remind you to give up, follow up with a client, for a estimate that you've given them or an offer that you've given them, you can kind of keep track using this calendar. As you input client trips, what you'll be able to do is see all of your client trips in this calendar. So this calendar will remind you that you're like, today is the 7th. I have a client that's on a trip. It says one trip. When you click on it, it actually brings you to what that trip was about, or what's going on that particular trip. So this will give you an opportunity to see when your clients are actually out on trips. If you look at your calendar at least a week in advance, you can actually send emails to them reminding them of their upcoming trip and making sure that they don't have any additional needs. So this calendar is great because it keeps you up to date with the tasks that are related to any trips that you have coming or that's been done, completed, as well as trips that your clients are on. So you get everything in kind of one view. So that's a great tool with the calendar feature. There's a client management feature. This screen shows you all of your clients that you've inputted into the system, and you have their names, address, and telephone numbers, and all of that information is there for you to review whenever you need to. There's tasks that I've entered into the system, reminding me of collecting the next deposit for a group trip, or reminding me to follow up with the offer that I made with somebody yesterday, and things of that nature. Reminding me to contact clients about final payments, all kind of things that you can really, as you are talking to clients and you know you need to get back to them next week, you put it all in one place, and the calendar that I showed you previously will help you to remember. There's the trip management tabs. These are trips that have been taken by clients. You have a list of all those trips that you booked for clients, and this will help you with that. You also have a list of bookings. Within each trip, you may have several bookings. What I mean by that is if you have a client flying in from Canada for a cruise, the flight will be one booking because that's a separate booking in most cases. Then you have perhaps when the client arrives, let's say in Florida, they have to stay at a hotel. That's a separate booking. And then the cruise itself is a third. So one trip may have 3 bookings. So in this system, bookings are each segment of the trip. If you didn't like to use the cruise line for both the air as well as the cruise, it will be separate bookings, but you can manage it under one trip. This makes this software very convenient to keep track of where your client is, what you need to give them. Even excursions will be another booking within a trip. So think of bookings as a subset of activities that you had to book separately that encompass the whole trip. There's also unclaimed bookings. I don't actually know what that is because it's always been blank for me. The only thing I don't even hazard to guess. It's just a blank screen for me, so I couldn't tell you what that is. I never had to use it. There's carriers tab here. This is an awesome tool for you because all of the vendors that you use, such as Carnival or Royal or Centrav, all of your vendors can be listed here with their telephone number, their email address, and website. Again, remember, this software is allowing you to have your office anywhere. You can access this information from your cell phone, from your tablet. If you have a laptop, one of those, or even if you're in a hotel and you need to log into one of their public computers, you at least have access to be able to do that. So this will allow you to have all the vital information you need for your vendors all in this location as well. Of course, there's a screen for keeping up with your commissions. Let me point to the one that's most important here. All of the commissions, if once you are getting paid through the system, will show up here. So right now, Travelution is not using this system to pay people. We're still using the original system that we have. So this system will not be useful for us at this time. We have a tab for reports. When we click on reports, you have projected income. This gives you an idea of income that you can expect, how much you've earned per month or per year. That's all in there. You can see commissions earned is another report that you can have in here. Past due payments, that's also another report in here. There's also charts for you so that you can see how much bookings you've had per vendor, what percentage or where you have people traveling. Jamaica is here, United States is there. If you're flying people to Italy, I guess that would be a part of the pie as well. Um, there's also custom reports. Those are reports that if you need anything, any type of custom report that will be helpful to you, you can contact the staff, the support team at East Travel Solutions, and they will actually develop a custom report for you upon request. I haven't had the need for that yet, but it is available to you. There's also the settings tab that will allow you to see your settings for this software on a user level, company level. There are workspace tabs. That's an advanced feature for an additional charge that you would pay directly to eTravel that allows you to have automated features in this software. But so far, I'm a very heavy user, and while there are some attractive benefits to an upgrade, I really haven't had any need for it. Dave and Faraday has just done a great job, the owners of Travelution, picking a software that's really heavy duty, will get everything you need done with organizing and helping to grow your business. As a user of this software, I've had several questions I've had to ask. You can click on Create Ticket and ask questions that you're not sure about or how to use, or ask them how to use a feature. They'll either call you or send you an email back with a reply. I've sent about, I see about 5 here, and they've all been answered in a quick, orderly fashion. Usually the next day I have an answer. The staff has been very, very helpful with this software and getting back to you with the questions that you have. So that's a little bit of an overview of the software. There's one thing I do want to show is the most important part, one of the biggest parts to this, is the dashboard. That's the main screen that you watch just about every day. This section will give you an update on your trips in progress or coming up. So in a quick synopsis, this screen shows you several different things about your travel business. So these are upcoming trips to let you know what's coming up, who's traveling, things of that nature. This is your task area. This is the area that I use every day, and I'm ashamed to say there's a couple of red marks here. That means these are tasks that I have not completed yet. As each day I get on this software and I look at what I need to do for today as individual tasks. Things like get back to somebody with a request that they asked for, or researching additional information for a trip, or follow up with the trips. That's typically the tasks that are in this area. That once I'm done with them, I can check them off and know that I've completed it. If anybody knows about trying to keep up with, especially when you start getting numerous calls, keeping up with all those little tasks, little pieces of paper becomes quite inefficient. So this software, if you put your task in here, they will show up here on a daily basis, but that calendar that I showed you at first, it'll show up there as well. This screen basically gives you, this is the part of the screen that I love the most. It shows how much you've done in bookings per month. It will, if you click on this area, you can look at per year, and it'll show you per year. It'll adjust to different types of reports for you, kind of giving you an idea of how much you've booked per month. So this is a very useful and encouraging tool. It also gives you commission received reports. Right now, it's going to be 0 because we are not using this system yet entirely for the payment of commission, so you don't see that information there. It's on our back office information is where you would find that when you log into your back office. So this has been a very helpful software that I just wanted to make sure people, especially our team, was aware of, so that they can start using this. It's important to get started using this while you're not so busy, so that you don't get overwhelmed when you're doing your business. Once you start getting busy, you want to already be well acquainted with the system and already set up with this system. So I strongly encourage, if you have not started using your free CRM, it's built into your monthly fee, so you don't pay anything extra for this powerful tool. I recommend that you contact Travelution's back office, get them to send you your login information. If they sent it back in late last year for everybody, but not everybody probably noticed it, and so ask them to send it to you again. Get started on this software. Add all your clients to this software. What I've done with this software is that this software can actually download all of your client information to Excel. Now, why that's exciting for me is because we have another wonderful tool, which is provided by Travelution, which is a Agent Studio website. And I'm not going to go too much into that tool because there's so many powerful tools that Travelution has given us. It's just so exciting. But with that website, which is also packed with features for you to win and be successful at your business, it allows you to upload your client list into that website, so that that website marketing center can start engaging your clients with automatic emails, sending offers to your clients. Well, what I've done as a strategy is all of my clients, as I'm booking them, as they're asking me for information about future trips, I'm entering all their information in this software. And occasionally, what I'll do is download their names and email addresses from this software and upload it into Agent Studio, our Agent Studio website marketing center, and that marketing center will start sending your clients automatic emails. You pick what type of emails your clients see. You can do it on a group level, an individual level. You want them to see emails about cruises, you can do that, or I think there's all-inclusives. There's all kind of different options for you to decide. They don't have to see everything that's available, just what you think your client would be interested in. So Dave and Faraday has done an awesome job giving us two powerful tools, the CRM that I'm talking about tonight, and then, of course, the Agent Studio website that you can use in conjunction with this. The more you engage your clients, the better you're going to be at being on top of their minds when it comes to when they're ready to travel. So I wanted to just do a little bit more of an overview. This should be a quick call. It's just designed to give you an overview of this software and make you aware that it's a very useful tool, but just so that you know how to do certain things. If you want to, what I would like to do is just show you how to add a client to this software. So you click on Client Management in the left-hand margin. You click Add Client, and you'll see a new screen that comes up. With that new screen, you get to add additional information about this client. So let me come up with just a Maple Leaf client, Joe Johnson. If I can type that. We'll give him a date of January 1st, 1960, so he's a young guy. At least I'd like to think so. If you have an anniversary date, you can put that information there. You click here. Everybody is a client. Don't use lead right now because that's a future development that the software is not ready to handle yet. So everybody's a client. You select whether they're male or female. Joe is obviously a guy. Even down here, the type of client they are. In this case, most of my clients are cruises, so I usually click cruise, and that will be used for a feature later down as they're continuing to develop this software. You can then put in the person's address. let's say 123 Park Place. Let's say New York. The park is not, place is not so right. There you go. Let's say New York, New York. And the zip code is 110. What you'll do is you click save once you enter this side of the screen, and that allows you to go to the next side of the screen, which is adding additional contact details. When you click on this, it'll open up a screen, and you can use this drop-down box to indicate. I usually put the telephone number first because that's usually what I use first to contact people. You can indicate what type of phone number it is. Oh, for me, it's almost always a mobile number, so I'll just use a station number. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you click save. Be sure to click save after each of these entries. It'll not keep unless you do that. If you want to add additional information for this client, like their email address, which is very useful, you just click add client detail again for a second field. You click on email address. It's usually their home email address. And we can do again, his name is Joe, so let's say Joe at AOL.com. Click save again. And basically you have a client that's now in your system, and you have some additional information. What you can use this box for, what I usually use this area for, is additional information that may not necessarily be up here. Just as a hint, just so that you know, there are some great additional fields that are available up in the add client detail. For instance, the one thing I really like to mention to you is the special rewards program tab. When you click on that, there is you can select the airline that they may be your rewards member of, and then put their number in the next box. But the one that or hotel rewards number, all of that can be selected for under rewards program, and then selecting Marriott or the name of the hotel, or even their number when it comes to Royal Caribbean. If they're a member of a club or loyalty club, you can find that here. Select the particular vendor and put the related number. But one thing I just wanted to make sure everybody knew is if they have a TSA number, you can also indicate that here. It's listed under the TSA pre, and then you can put their pre number there. So I wanted to just let you know that, because I had to kind of find that out after using this for a while. So I figured I'd save you the trouble and let you know that you can put their TSA number here as well. What I usually use this field for is things like, which has been very helpful for me for additional notes, is if what their home airport is. So if this client's home airport is JFK, I will put that there and just say JFK equals home airport. The other thing I will do is, if I have the client's credit card information on file, this screen, just so that you know, is very helpful to me when I'm talking to a client. I usually have this screen open for all the vital information I need to know about that client. So having this additional information, like if they have a Visa card, I would perhaps put their Visa. I would say, if I have a Visa card, I would say Visa, and put the last 4 digits of their Visa number. And then I would indicate when it expires. So I'll say expire, if I can spell expire right, January 2019. Now, why that's helpful for me is, as I'm talking to clients and they're saying, please use my Visa card, for instance, I can quickly see if I have the Visa card and the expiration date in front of me, so that if it expires, as you know, people's credit cards do expire, I can get their new information right away instead of calling them back. So having this brief information kind of gives me little things that will help me to facilitate trips that are being requested quickly. Down here is the area where you can, if you know the client's passport information, you can fill in their passport information. I usually have the number and expiration date and the country. I almost never have the when it was issued, or the issued city. That might be for European cities, or passport is what I'm thinking. But if it's U.S. based or Caribbean based, it's usually I'm entering the number, the expiration date. If they give you a date, it's always the expiration date. At least it's been so far for me, and the issue country. All that information will be vital for you so that you can be the travel professional and have all that information, and you'll look like $1,000,000 because they don't have to keep repeating this information to you. Once you put this information in the additional notes field, you do have to click save for it to be saved. Now, just for the purpose of the next example that I want to give you, I want to also add another client. So I would click client again and add a client once again. And I'm going to just now add a female new client. So let's say Jane Doe. Carol. Let's call her Jane Doe Carol. And her birthday is March 21st, 1963. Good date. Excellent date. That's the same date as my wife. That's why I use it. This is going to be a client again, and she's a female. And let's say a cruise again. The other thing I want to mention to you is when you see this address, enter address here, you can actually, if you can copy and paste it, or you can into this field, and it will, if you have a email that somebody gave you an address, you can copy and paste it into this field, click that, and click this, and it will automatically put the entire address there if it's an address that Google can find. So that's good to know. If you have an address that you got from an email, you can kind of highlight the whole thing, copy it in here, click on this little locator icon, and then click on the address again, and all of the information in there will be done. So you don't have to enter it one by one. So let's go ahead and save this. We don't have our passport information right now, but we'll put some contact information in here. We'll put in her telephone number. This will be her cell number. I like cell numbers. 917-300-0011. Click save. Let's give her an email address. Email, home. Sometimes they give you the work, but typically it's the home. Let's say jane@aol.com. And let's click save here. Now, there's a couple of things I just want to show you so that you don't have to run into snags. Now, let's say Joan is related to someone that you already have in a database. You can click on tracking. And when you do that, you can then click add relative. Let's say Joan has a husband in this database. You click on husband, and I think the first person I mentioned was Joe. If Joe comes up, you can click here and click save. Now what that does for you is now Joe and Jane are now connected to each other in this software. So if she ever says, and my husband too, you can go back to go to tracking and see who her husband is, her children is, and anybody else that they would like to make sure to track. So this will give you an opportunity to add a relative, and that relative can be from this list. It's husband, girlfriend, partner, mother, father, daughter. You get the point. So you can have people connected to each other in the software. Now, that is helpful for future reports that you'll be able to run once you have enough people in the system. Now, let me just show you how to create a trip and then add people to the trip. So now that you have Jane and John, they want to go on a cruise, what you can do is create a trip for them in this software. So you go to trips. There are several trips that are already here. If they were a part of one of these groups, I can just simply click on one of these groups and add them in there. But for the purpose of this overview, let me speak to you about adding a trip. So let's say to add a trip, you click on this big green button over here. There's two types of trips. There's a regular trip and a group non-contract trip. Regular trips are just that, regular trips for, two people, maybe a family. This second one is for anything that's beyond more than one cabin or more than one room. I usually use this group, uh, even though a group can, the group doesn't have to be a large group. It can be just like more than one room or more than one cabin. This is the what I would use for that particular um, setting. So for regular trip, you then put in the trip type. In this case, let's call it anniversary. Um, you can name the trip. It's suggested that you name the trip something that has their name in it. So we would call it Joe and Jane Cruise. The trip type is going to be a cruise. If you don't know what the trip type is going to be, you can simply say undecided. If you don't know what it is, and come back to it later. But in this case, let's say cruise. This software is now populated with data so that you can actually indicate, have more. This is a recent update since January. So now you can indicate the cruise line. My favorite is Royal, and it will show Royal, and you can click on Royal. It will ask what ship. My favorite is Harmony. We will be going there in, in November. Excuse me. It'll automatically pop up Harmony of the Seas. You can click Save, and you've created a trip. Now, I'm sorry. You also have to indicate the date. So let me indicate the dates of the cruise that we're doing in January. I mean, in November. Let's say the 18th to the 25th. This trip is considered active. There are certain categories you can place this trip in. Is active, booked, canceled, paid, ready to travel, and travel. I usually use active for anything before actually booking the person. Booked is when you've actually taken a deposit and you booked them and you have a confirmation number for the book. It doesn't necessarily mean it's paid. It's just that you have a deposit on the booking. Canceled is obviously canceled. Paid is when it's completely paid up. You can change the category to paid. Ready to travel is when they have all the documents that they need and they're ready to travel. And of course, travel is when they come back. If you update your clients accordingly, you're able to run certain reports that I showed you earlier by those categories. So it's a good tool and a good to kind of go back and use these. Right now, I'm going to say active and click save. Now that I have a trip for Joe and Jane, I spelled Jane wrong there, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. You could come over here and click travelers, add travelers. And what you're doing is adding these two people to this trip. You go ahead and select primary or secondary. Primary or secondary, primarily how I've been using this is the following. Primary is anybody that's going on a trip that's going to be responsible for payments. Secondary is people like that's on a trip, like children. This will be helpful for you because down the line when you start processing trips, especially groups, and you are especially using the paid the upgrade version of this software, you will be able to send automatic emails to your clients. Those emails can be determined who they go to by primary and secondary. So if you have a family of 4, husband and wife and 2 children, you would probably use primary for both the husband and wife, and the children would be considered secondary. So if you do pay for the upgrade version of this software and you want to send a reminder of their next payment, the email will only be going to the mother and father, not the kids. By selecting each of the parents as primary and the children as secondary. So that's pretty much what that primary and secondary is about. I selected primary, then I start typing in the name of the traveler. You will see if there's a Joe anywhere in the database, it'll come up. It's usually the first 3 letters is all you'll need, and all the Joes in your database will come up. You select Joe, you click save, and the next I'm going to add another traveler to the trip. This is another paying adult, so I'm going to go ahead and click primary again, and Jane. I will look for, and there's Jane Doe Carroll. I'll click save, and now we have two travelers on this trip, and they're ready to go. Now there are some additional things that you can do with this as an overview, so I will kind of go over a couple of them. So now that you have a trip, there are some tabs on the top that have become available to you. When you're ready to book the cruise for this person, you go ahead and click bookings, and you click add booking. This is additional information about the same trip. These are like subsections within the same trip. And you'll better come to understand it as you start using the software more. This is just a brief overview. So the booking number is typically the reservation number that the cruise line gave you, or the hotel gave you, or the airlines gave you. So I'll just use 1, 2, 3, 4, just to keep it simple. The booking date is when you actually booked it. Let's say I booked this today. The tour operator, that has to do with who are you booking this directly with. If you book the cruise directly with Royal Caribbean, then you would type in Royal, and usually it will come up for you, Caribbean. If you book the cruise through, let's say, Travel Impressions, then you would, Travel Impressions is usually comes up. Let me see. Let me refresh. There we go, Travel Impressions. Then that's what you indicate as tour operator. It's almost like who's sending the commission check is what this is really targeting. The agent name is certainly us. These dates typically don't change from the information that you gave in the previous screen. But however, remember, each segment of the trip is a booking. So this dates would change. For instance, for this trip, if once you're doing, I'm right now setting up a booking for the cruise component of this trip. But if I was booking, if I was setting up this screen for, and I could do that separately next for, let's say, the pre-cruise hotel stay, they may only be coming in, checking in on the 17th and coming out on the 18th. So that's why these dates would change. It depends on what component of the trip you are looking, that you're specifying here. So I'm keeping them the same because that's the dates of the cruise itself. The package price, let's say, is $1,000, and your commission for Royal Caribbean, I know, is 14%. So that's $140 if I did my math right. And the good thing is that Travelution is very generous with its commissions, and if you get 80% of your up to 80% commission, and that's automatically indicated below. So of $140, you will get a commission check of $112 is what this is saying. You click save, and now you've created a booking. And that's so. Now that you have a booking, you can now do indicate payments towards this booking. So you have a payments tab. This is all staying under one trip, but you have different segments of the trip or different components of the trip that you're trying to keep track of. So once you are ready to make a payment, let's say a deposit payment, you click on payments and click add payment. What you do here is you click on the payee. Usually on the top is the people that you're working with, but sometimes you can see much longer list. So for Jane, I'm going to be making a deposit, initial deposit for her. Let's say I'm doing it again today, and let's say the initial deposit is usually $500 for cabin, so it's $250 for Jane. The description. Typically, what I put here in the description, you might find it helpful for yourself, is how I paid for this particular deposit. So if they ask me to use their Visa, and I forgot the number I was coming up with before, but I usually put Visa 0600, the last 4 digits of their Visa number or credit card number that I used for this payment. You'll see how that's helpful in a moment, and you just click save. So for this trip, I've registered an initial deposit for Jane. I used her Visa, and I used $250. Now I have to do the same thing for the initial payment for Joe. And I'll go ahead and this is initial deposit. Of course, when they have another regular payment, or if they're asking you, hey, I want make another regular payment towards my cruise instead of waiting for the final payment, that's what I usually label as regular payment. So we go ahead and do an initial payment for Joe. We're going to indicate today's date for the purpose of this example. We're going to give him a $250 deposit. And again, if Joe asks me to use a different credit card, I can say MasterCard number 4300 and click Save. And so now under this booking, you have two payments, one for Jane, one for Joe. Sometimes they use the same credit card, sometimes they don't. Why this is useful in that notes field is oftentimes they'll say, use that same credit card I used before. And if you have several credit cards in your records for them, this is how you'll be able to see exactly what you use. So that's why I use that notes field in that manner. Once you have payments, you can also do things like uh, indicate, you can upload documents. So once you get a confirmation from the cruise line, you can actually upload that document or confirmation page by selecting add document, select the document from your computer and upload it. And so you have your confirmation page from the cruise line or hotel line or the airline all in one place for this booking. Notes are good for if you want to keep notes of any particular request that they made or any notes that you think will be pertinent to this cruise line. It might be they're vegetarian, so you want to make sure to remember to add vegetarian to the reservation. Tasks here will allow you to add tasks. This is where that calendar comes into play. Let's say I want to follow up with next payment to, let's say March 1st. The due date, I don't have to say March 1st here because I get to put the due date here. So follow the next payment. Let's do that. You can go ahead and click on March 1st. And you can have some additional notes if you need to, and you can indicate the payment type. In this case, it's a task type is a payment that's due, and you click Save. And now you have a task assigned to that particular trip as well. So that shows up on your calendar on March 1st to remember to give them a call for their next payment. So that is, in essence, the CRM and some of the things that you can do with the CRM. I have, for instance, several groups. So let me just show you how the groups can work once you're populating groups information. One second, let me just open them up. Here's a wedding I'm doing in Jamaica. And it's a wedding later on in Jamaica. I label it the name of the bride and groom, and where it's going to be, the Grand Palladium. I have 19 reservations, 19 different rooms. So what's good about this, once you start populating these groups, is you can see how much you so far have booked for this. So how much people have paid by those deposits that I just showed you how to enter. What is the balance of the whole trip? So this is very useful information that's all in one screen. And of course, this is 19, so I would have to click next to go to the next screen. For each one of these is a room and the individuals that will be in the room. And so I can click on this room and get detailed information about the people that will be in this room, their bookings, all kind of information related to that particular booking within the group. So I hope this has been very helpful for you and excites you into using this very powerful tool. Let me switch back. So I want to just thank you for taking out time to really watch this video. I hope you're excited about this tool now that you've seen how it works to a degree. There's a lot of features here that's available to you. Learn to use the tool now uh, before you get overwhelmed and certainly very busy, because this has helped me tremendously. I don't have to look for scraps of piece of paper anymore or try to keep up with an Excel spreadsheet. It just wasn't working for you. So get started using this software if you haven't done so already. You start by contacting support@yourtravelution.com. Ask for your access by email. Let's win together. Let's serve our clients with excellence. This is another great tool that you can use not only for your CRM, the customer relations management, but as I said earlier, you can download all of these clients onto an Excel file and upload it to the free website that Travelution offers as well. Travelution is giving us all these awesome tools to win so that our clients can win and get the best out of us. We got to use them. So hopefully this will be as a little help for you. It will excite you into using these great tools. Start now when you just have a few clients. Get used to the system. It will be very helpful for you. And remember, no matter where you are, you can access this tool on your phone, on your tablet. This is where it's going to count so that when your clients are calling, if you're not answering, they're going to say next and go on. So use this tool. I'm excited about it. I hope you are too. Thanks for listening. Have a great night. Goodbye.